We are being watched from the inside every single second of every single day. The bad guys and gals are stealing our identities, hacking into our personal lives, and the government always gives us this "we're working on it as fast as we can" line. We are often led to wonder if that's like trying to bail out a lifeboat that has holes the size of truck tires. So let's get some reality here. Our guest is the man we turn to for insight on such matters, the chairman and founder of Identity Theft 911 and former director of the New Jersey Division of Consumer Affairs. Welcome, Adam Levin, to MidPoint. Adam, good to see you again.
Thank you, Ed. Thanks for having me back.
Pleasure. There comes the main question to start things off. We're always told, don't worry about it, American public. We're working on this cyber legislation. Okay, what's being done, Adam? Anything real?
Nothing yet, really. I mean, the president has introduced some legislation, which is a Consumer Privacy Bill of Rights. He's trying to do some things by executive order. We know that there is legislation that may be coming on a national breach notification law, though there's a great deal of controversy as to whether it's only going to be, is it going to be preemptive? Is it not going to be preemptive when it comes to stronger state laws? There are fights going on there. The information sharing aspects of proposed laws, still a great deal of controversy as to how much information, and that businesses have asked, well, if we share information, we want a bit of a pass on liability. So a lot of motion, not exactly much accomplishment yet.
All right, so what's the holdup? That's what the American public wants to know.
The holdup is that there are only certain groups willing to go so far. It's clear after talking to a number of people in Washington that they're very nervous about taking too much of a move on anything privacy related because there's no consensus, that people feel more comfortable about tackling it sort of one little teeny piece at a time, one of the pieces being breach notification, but even that has a number of different sides in constant argument about how much notification, what are the levels of risk that you have to assess, when should you be notifying, what is considered personal identifying information. I mean, this dog is not yet in the hunt, and unfortunately the fox has run away.
Well,
so
let me bring some numbers to what exactly you said
down
here, Adam. I want to bring some numbers right here. The 2015 identity fraud study. There's a new victim in this country every 2 seconds. Almost 13 million Americans experienced some sort of financial identity theft in 2014, and the thieves got about $18 billion in 2013, $16 billion last year. Excuse me for just go ahead and being the guy sitting on the outside here and being a little bewildered, but this is nothing new. As you said, this has been going on for a long time. It's getting worse every single day. How far behind are we falling the longer we wait?
No, we're way far behind the longer we wait. And by the way, those numbers, which were the Javelin survey, and they're, fairly good. The truth is they don't really tell the whole story. We don't know all the numbers on medical identity theft or on child identity theft. We still don't have our hands around tax-related identity theft. Criminal identity theft doesn't necessarily get reported properly. Synthetic identity theft is a complicated hybrid of identities. We don't really know. So the number, I think the real number, you're not talking 13 million. You're probably talking somewhere north of 20 million people a year are victims of some form of identity theft. And cyber hacking is even scarier than all of that because these are people that are gaining the capacity to bring down the grid. The electric grid, the financial grid, or even a defense grid, possibly. We are almost in a phase now where there's mutually assured destruction on both sides when it comes to things cyber-related. And this is not a time for people to sit around contemplating their navel. This is a time for the government to put on their big boy pants and get out there and team up with business and consumers in a collaborative effort to get something on the books and mean it.
And a government that hasn't put on its big boy or big girl pants in some time when it comes down to a number of different issues here. I think we're in big trouble. Do me a favor, Adam, please stand by a couple of moments here because we're going to take a break, come back on the other side. And before we do, we just want to pass this on to you. News that we are following. The Justice Department has announced that they will not charge former Ferguson, Missouri policeman Darren Wilson in the death of Michael Brown. Again, this is a decision that we have been waiting for. We will cover it on the newscast at the top of the hour. But the Justice Department, no charges against Darren Wilson in the Michael Brown case. All right. The other side of this issue, the social media companies, the scream about free speech and privacy, and the reality of making it tougher for terrorists to work their magic via the free internet waves. That's next. Because frankly, when we talk about all these people who are waiting, there's some things we can't wait to deal with. Right here on MidPoint.